Unfortunately, our 2022 won't be out. Yeah, it probably won't be out in 2022. They said it's too far out to give us a release date. So we're expecting probably 2023, 2024, unless they do some miracle work and get it out in end of 2022. All right, but let's go ahead and take a look at the trailer first. It's a good place for my camera.
Hey everyone, I'm Tom, executive producer at Project L. And I'm Tony, Project L's technical.
For anyone who doesn't know, these are two of the owners of Evolution,
here at Riot.
the biggest fighting game tournament of the year, or every year while it still exists.
Well, a lot's changed since then. We've made some great progress, and while the game is still too far out to commit to a release date, it's been a bit since you heard from us.
Oh, hey, there's a character we actually haven't seen yet.
Too far out to commit to a release
So, like,
date.
they showed 4 characters in the trailer, right? So I'm gonna let you guys in on a little clue. This red-haired chick is not one of the 4 characters they show in the new trailer. That's Darius, I think. If that's Darius, they show Darius. They don't show her. I don't know who that is because I don't play League.
From the beginning, we knew that we wanted to make a 2D fighter set in the universe of Runeterra, but the 2D fighting space is pretty broad.
Well, let's go, Ari.
From that starting point, there were a ton of different directions we could take the game. After lots of exploration, we're excited to say that we've landed on a direction that we're pretty pumped about. In this quick update, we'll walk you through our high-level approach when it comes to core gameplay, character design, and netcode.
But first, allow me to reintroduce Project L.
One, Echo looks totally different than he looks in League, by the way. But it's fine, because he looks dope as fuck. He looks super fucking dope. Let me make sure this is, it's not. Let me crank this shit up. Crank this shit up. Yeah, look at that. That looks good as fuck. And this is where we found out it was a tag fighter or assist fighter. Look at that. Tags in, Ari. Let's go. The air juggles. I love the art. I really do like the direction that they took with the art. The cell shadedness without the lines looked really awkward.
Two different champs. We feel like
I'm not surprised that they put Jinx in the game because Arcane, right? And I think that they made that decision knowing Arcane was in the works, and they're like, well, we have to appeal to Arcane.
Dynamic combat fantasy, while leaving plenty of room for you to be creative and express yourself.
Darius kind of just makes sense. He's a big bruiser with an axe. He's gonna be a big body. He makes sense.
Outplays, hard reads, and 200 IQ plays.
Ari will probably be a rushdown character.
The dream for us is to deliver a game that allows you to create new iconic moments for many years to come.
I didn't see her use a projectile that whole time.
I know that a lot of you have strong opinions about mechanical.
Yo, sick anti-air. Look at this anti-air, dude.
I know that a lot of you have strong opinions about mechanical difficulty in fighting games. For Project L, we're embracing the easy to learn, hard to master mentality. So yes, we are making it easier to jump in with a new character and learn their basic kit. That said, we absolutely believe.
I don't mind simple kits, but we'll talk about that later.
Providing opportunities.
I don't mind simple issues at all.
High-end mastery. One of the delights of fighting games is seeing top players move and fight.
I played Fantasy Strike. I don't mind simple inputs.
We want to set that aspirational summit and build a steadily increasing difficulty curve to get you there. This isn't about building a game where new players have a chance to be the pros. It's about unlocking the fun at all skill levels. Character design, of course.
I love that line because people always, that makes me so upset. People always, oh, they're simplifying the game to appeal to casuals and make it so that the skill gap is reduced. No, dude, they just want to make it so that brand new players play the fucking game and have a good time. It's not about you and your fucking 0.5% of the community that play and are competitive. Bitch, the rest of us want to enjoy the game too. And I say the rest of us, I'm one of the fucking sweaty nerds in Soul Calibur that is at that high level, right? There are tons of people below me who just want to get into the game and just want to play it. That's what Reverse Sledge is for. That's what Soul Charge is for. That's why we have simpler combos than we've ever had in Soul Calibur. Like, I'm sorry, I should say simpler than we've had since in Soul Calibur 4 and 5. That is why we have these things. So that people can jump into the game at all skill levels and feel as if they have a chance to actually play the game. Cool. That buffs me and my Giga Brain. Yeah, it's funny that people have such a problem with easy inputs. I'll talk about that here in a little bit because it relates to your
character
game.
Design, of course, plays a huge role in this. For characters, our goal is to deliver on the iconic.
Yo, Jinx looks nice.
Champions are known,
I like her braids.
But adapted to work in a fighting game. We want our champions.
Fuck Ari. I'm already mad. I'm already mad. I'm already mad.
As an example, I'm thrilled to introduce you to Echo, re-envisioned for Project L. Echo is a punk genius.
Oh my god, I'm playing Echo, dude. I am playing Echo.
Can rewind his own.
Why is it that all the characters I like in fighting games are black dudes that control time? What the fuck? Zos, Garrus, Echo, come on, man. Come on, dog. Stop doing this shit to me.
When Echo slashes,
I already have a main though. That's good.
It's an after image that he can.
Just gotta figure out who my secondary is gonna be.
Few seconds of the match. You can use the rewind to double down on your first slash.
Yes, yes.
And branch into
rush down. Oh my gosh, the mix! Yes! Yes!
You take full advantage of the rewind ability. He can vary the timing of the rewind to mix up his opponent, recover for assist attacks made by his teammates. And in the right hands, rewind can also be a strong combo extender.
That's so fucking sick.
And then there's Time Winder, Echo's time grenade. Time Winder works
actually slows down time. Literally a Zos curse as a projectile.
Time Winder works.
It's a Zos time stop as a fucking projectile. This is so sick.
Comes when you're able to throw Time Winder from range, giving it a chance to charge up and explode into a time distortion field that slows.
And he had time to dash up, bro.
For both of these moves, our approach
temporal advantage from Garrus. Let's go.
Potential for extra utility.
Boom! Hit that shit out of him.
Now, while gameplay is obviously super important, high-quality netcode is essential for any great fighting game. So this is an area where we're investing big.
I'm actually pretty happy about this part. I'm happy about what they say here.
Netcode has been a top-of-mind topic in the FGC for the past year, especially since we haven't been able to gather for live events. For Project L, we've designed our entire networking stack to deliver the same highly responsive gameplay that you'd get playing offline. Of course, this starts by using rollback networking at the core. Rollback does a great job of maintaining a consistent.
To be fair, they created GGPO, which is the first starting of.
We've also developed a new networking model that enhances the benefits of rollback with core technology developed by other games at Riot. We'll route network traffic between players through Riot Direct, our internal network already being used to minimize latency in League of Legends and Valorant. We're also actively managing a player's connection to their opponent to ensure a consistent, fair play experience. If their connection is laggy or drops packets, their experience will suffer, but yours won't.
The best one-sided rollbacks I've ever heard of.
Netcode will determine who should win and who should be penalized.
The best one-sided rollbacks I've ever heard of.
It's the primary way that we playtest the game internally, and we're working every day to make sure.
Don't be having no doo-doo butter netcode, but no doo-doo butter connections, brother.
Before we go, I want to remind you that our game is still in R&D.
Yeah.
We're happy with how core combat is shaping up, but there's still a ton of work to do. Thanks so much for your patience while we take our time to make sure that we get this right. So that's all for now. Last time we spoke, Project L went dark afterwards, but this time we'll do our best to keep in touch when we have major news to share. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right, so before I get out of here, mine are decent. I mean, I believe you. I believe you. So, like, before we move off this screen, right, before we stop talking about the trailer itself, this is the perfect time to mention that they talk about how they made the input simple.
Years to come. Now let's talk about controls. I know that a lot of you have
special one, down special one,
difficulty in fighting games.
Special one, attack one.
We're embracing the easy to learn.
Special one, attack 3. So that's what I'm reading here, right? I'm assuming that means special 1, attack 3, special 1, attack 1, down special 1, right? So maybe it's like attack 1, 2, 3, special 1, 2, 3, right? Maybe. And then there's like motion inputs, right? I'm sorry, not motion inputs, like directional inputs, down, up, forward, back, some stuff like that. Maybe, right? I would not be surprised to see cooldown on special moves and an actual charging meter for your ultimate, like you would get in or a cooldown, like a large cooldown on your super move or your ultimate, right? Whatever you fucking mobile players want to call it, right? I would not be surprised to see that. If we don't see that, that'd also be fine. It just means that the moves have to be balanced differently because of how easy they are to execute, which is not a problem. Okay, Fantasy Strike did it just fine. Grand Blue Fantasy Versus has cooldowns. Rising Thunder had cooldowns. Rising Thunder is kind of the spiritual, I can't say spiritual successor or spiritual predecessor to this game because we don't actually know if Rising Thunder is going to, this game is going to play off Rising Thunder's things at all. That would make more sense as mobile players are going to try. Yeah. I think that simple inputs, let's just get this out of the way. Simple inputs are not a problem in fighting it. If you, as a fighting game player, say, oh, they're dumbing down the game by making the input simple, That way any monkey can play it. Dude, that is not what makes fighting games work. I'm going to tell you right now that is a anecdotal skilled area that you see on Reddit or you see on Twitter when people bitch about fighting game complexity or simple inputs. Yeah. Or no, thank you. Or you play Fantasy Strike with me. What do you mean? You absolutely love one button SPD. What are you talking about? One button armored SPD? Mean Buffalo? I'm coming after you right now. I'm going in, bro. One button armored SPD. You loved that shit. What are you talking about? Okay, so back to what I was saying. I think that there are fighting games that do simple inputs or no motion inputs very well, right? Grand Blue Fantasy Versus handles it with cooldowns. There's no real motion inputs, and you could maybe Grand Blue Fantasy Versus. What's another game with no motion input? Power Rangers doesn't have motion inputs. Fantasy Strike. Those are games that don't have motion inputs that balance around them extremely well. Extremely well. And I think the most popular example of a fighting game that is deep and has a lot of complexity without motion inputs, Super Smash Bros. Melee. I don't know if you guys realize this, but Super Smash Bros. Melee has 2 attack buttons. There are no quarter circles. There are no fucking pretzels, no half circles, no DP motions. They put complexity into other places to make up for the fact that okay, well, they didn't mean to, but the complexity exists in other places to make up for the fact that there is no complexity in the commands. Even in newer Smash games, though the movement is not part of the complexity, stage positioning, awareness, disadvantage and advantage, right? All of those are concepts that people still don't grasp in fighting games and in Smash, though the inputs are simple. No one says, oh my gosh, I suck at Smash because there's motion inputs. They say, damn, I suck at Smash because I keep getting knocked off the fucking stage. I can't get back. This guy keeps stopping me from making it back onto the stage. What the? He can steal the ledge from me? What the fuck? What? He can knock me off the ledge by grabbing it? No, that's part of the complexity that goes into simple input fighting games. It's not always about the inputs themselves. That's something that a lot of you fighting game players and a lot of you just competitive game players in general need to get out of your head. That is a mentality that is holding you back as a player, whether it's a fighting game player or a MOBA player or a shooting game player or card game player, right? There are other technical skills. There are other things required to be at that top level. You can learn all of your combos in Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Yu-Gi-Oh is a very complex card game with very extensive combo trees and paths that you could take to make the best inboards that you can, depending on your hand or whatever cards remain in your deck, right? But learning those combos, just like in fighting games, is only the beginning when it comes to being good at a video or good at a competitive game in general. Right now, in a card game, you need to learn, okay, well, I believe my opponent might have an interruption of some kind. They might have a trap card or an instant speed spell in Magic the Gathering. Or they might have a board breaker for the next turn. How can I make my board around that, right? Or in Killer Instinct, combo breaker. How do I build my combo in a way where if I get my combo broken, I still maximize my damage? Right? Are you hearing me out here? There are so many other thought processes that go into fighting games other than just the combos and just the. That is the thing I need everyone to get out of their heads right fucking now. Right now. Because this special S1A3, yeah, it sounds easy, cool, nice, looks neat. There should be nothing wrong with it. That should be something that we got to get you.
So yes, we are making it easier to jump in with a new character and learn their basic kit. That said, we absolutely believe in rewarding the time.
See, like, look how simple this first combo was he did.
So yes,
look at this shit.
We're embracing the easy to learn, hard
boom,
to
boom. Okay, like, yeah, look at that. That's easy. I could learn that, right? That's fucking simple. I don't know how to play fighting games. First time here. Let me do S1A3. Let me do that.
Yes,
and then whatever the fuck this is. Okay, that was a simple combo. Look at this next shit.
We absolutely believe in rewarding
look at that. He anti-air grabbed him.
That said,
after getting a juggle to continue the combo.
providing opportunities for you to showcase
Jumping
your fighting
combos?
mastery.
With a big
One
stun?
of the delights of fighting games is seeing top players move and fight in a way that's inspiring.
I think
and
combos
distinct
with
from
an
lesser skilled
assist.
Players.
Into an
We wanna
ultimate.
set that aspirational summit and build a steadily
Into the
increasing
ultimate.
difficulty
That was the
curve
next thing I wanted to talk about. That was the next thing I wanted to talk about.
This isn't about building a game where new players have a chance.
I want to let
be
him say
pros.
this again.
It's about unlocking the fun at all skill levels.
Okay, so you see how there's no motion in the inputs look easy, so it's just kind of about if you can remember how to fucking type on a keyboard, you can learn a fighting game combo. Okay, it's actually that simple. When you fucking put your mind to it, if you can learn how to type on a keyboard and learn how to type under pressure, say you have to finish a report that's due in 45 minutes and you need to type 1,000 words. You need to make as little mistakes as possible on that 1,000-word essay, right? Or 1,000-word report. You have to make as little mistakes as possible in 30 minutes, 45 minutes, whatever, right? Now, when you think about it in the sense of a fighting game, you're not writing a 1,000-word essay, but you have significantly less time. You have your nice little 8-hit combo, your little 10-hit combo with a super at the end that you have 8 seconds to do by a muscle memory, hopefully, right? That is something that they just showed right there. He did that in a simpler manner. There was no motion input. But we do have to think about the fact that this game is going to be a team-based game. So a lot of the complexity isn't actually coming from the fact that you have to deal with a lot of the complexity isn't coming from the, I'm going to pause it here. Isn't coming from the fact that the combos or the inputs are difficult. It's going to be coming from the fact that you have to deal with 2 characters on your side and know when to bring them in, when to bring them out, when to use the assist, when to not, how to pressure, how to block pressure. Because I don't know if you guys know this, but it doesn't matter how fucking good your neutral is. Typing doesn't take timing. It does if you have a certain, if you're under a time constraint. It does. If you're under a time constraint, it kind of does. You can't really make as many mistakes when you have 30 minutes to do a 1,000-word essay, right? Sounds like you need a rhythm to what you're doing. In the simplest manner, just the most archaic way to describe that. I'm not wrong. It's a perfectly fair analogy. Right? It's just like reloading or switching a gun, right? In Call of Duty. That's a decision you have to make right there. You have split second to say, I have 0 ammo left in this. I'm in the middle of a gunfight. Do I have time to reload, or do I need to switch guns? Can I find cover, reload because this gun is better, or do I swap off guns? Do I try to run in without getting hit too many times and go for a melee, right? There's so many decisions right there. And that there's no execution to that, right? There's no, maybe there's aiming execution, but there's no motion inputs to that. Hold forward or hold sideways to strafe or duck under cover or teabag when you kill them. How do you teabag again? Like X is jump. What's the other one? I play on controller, so whatever crouch is, smash that shit. Teabag. Like in fighting games. Anyways, so a lot of the complexity from this game is going to come from it being a 2v2 fighter. And I don't know if you guys know this, but 2v2 fighters are some of the most, team-based fighters in general are some of the most volatile fucking mash fests when they start. And I don't say that in a rude way. I mean, in a team-based fighter, it is always going to be easier to learn your pressure than it is going to be to learn defense. Doesn't matter how good of a fighting game player you are, how good your fucking neutral is, how sick your fucking combos are. This motherfucker opens you up with cross up into assist 4 times. Bitch, you're dead. Okay, you're dead. Did you block it? A mix-up is a mix-up. No matter how good the player is. A mix-up is a fucking mix-up. And that's something that you guys have to keep in mind, is that is an extra layer of complexity right there. Watch this shit. Are you gonna block this? Did you just watch him air dash that shit? Did you see that? Look at that again. Whoop, air dash. You wish. Thought you were gonna anti-air me. Oh, look at the blocks. Look at the blocks. You block all that? Did you get staggered or did you block? Tags into RA after, which means the cooldown. Also, I hope this is like a beta thing or like a alpha thing or pre-development thing. This motherfucker calls assist and then tags in not even 2 seconds later. That was terrifying. She only barely left the screen, and now she's back. I'm back, bitches. Like, you gonna block? Are you gonna block this? Are you gonna block that? Did you block that mix? What's the mix?
We feel like this is the right foundation to build a game that rewards strategic team building and on-the-fly decision-making on top of strong fighting fundamentals.
Strong fighting fundamentals, quick decision-making, and strategic team building. Those sound like layers of complexity for any fighting game. For 2v2, 1v1, for a game where your team is 3 different characters and they don't come in at the same time, like KOF. There's so many other levels to fighting it. Just like, once again, I'm gonna say the same thing for shooters. People always say, well, shooters are easy because anyone can move a mouse around. Let me move my mouse around. I'm very bad at moving my mouse around. I actually play shooters on keyboard. I don't play shooters on keyboard and mouse. I suck at it. I cannot do this. I cannot click heads, as they say, right? But I can move my thumbstick over to the head, right? So, in this case, when you think about any competitive game, there is always going to be a level of complexity and a level of simplicity, right? Yu-Gi-Oh! You draw your first 5 cards, the second you draw 6 cards. Cool, look at that, easy, right? Just something you already know. You start at like 8,000 life points. Sweet. Now, what the fuck are you doing with those cards in your hand if you've never read them? What do you do with those cards in your hand if you have never read a rulebook of Yu-Gi-Oh? You don't even have an inkling of a clue of what to do. Every competitive game, if you want to be the best, or if you want to be good, if you want to be competent, right, comes with a level of what's the word I'm looking for? A level of challenge, right? A level of difficulty. It's never going to be easy. There's always something that you have to think about or do to get better. You're not gonna just walk in and click heads and be the best in CS:GO. You're not gonna do it. You know why? Because these motherfuckers know where to stand to stay away from choke point, right? They know where to look for enemy traffic. They know where to throw grenades or smokes, right? They've learned the maps in and out. Look at that. There's a piece of complexity. They've learned player habits when it comes to I like that I see footsies in this game. What do you mean?
Strategic team building and
I'm just gonna go ahead and let you know now. Tag games are not the best when it comes to footsie. I'm gonna let you know now. Now that's air footsies, yeah, man. That's a sick outplay. Motherfucker air dash to get over it so he wouldn't get anti-air shot. If you can't block in the air, sick. I'm gonna like this game. If you can block in the air, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this game. I personally like games where you can't block in the air. I think that being able to block in the air is like one of the worst fucking things. Like, you should get anti-aired for jump. Now watch what she does here. I spelled that wrong. This is the closest thing you're gonna see to footsie. Right here, I think. Right? Makes that whiff and counter punch. I don't think in team-based games, I think it's gonna be a lot of I don't know if you play team-based games. You said you don't like them. But it's gonna be a whole lot of call assist, go for a mix-up or pressure. Call assist, go for a mix-up or pressure. Backdash, choose a defensive option, get out. Guess right? Return to neutral, or now you go back in with your assist. That was a back and forth between 2 players. That's kind of how team-based games work. Yes, there's neutral, but saying footsies, some games are just mash fest. No fighting game is honestly truly just a mash fest. Even Soul Calibur 6, which I call one of the mashiest fighting games I've ever played, has footsies and neutral. Right? It's just you have to find when to look for it because there's less chances for it in certain styles of games. And I think that a 2v2 tag game that's not Tekken Tag Tournament or Street Fighter Cross Tekken this is going to be one of those games where it's going to be a whole lot of rush down and pressure. It's going to be a fast game.
Build and pilot a team of 2 different champs. We feel like this is the right foundation to build a game that rewards strategic team building and on-the-fly decision-making on top of...
I can't wait to see like character spotlights and in-depth mechanic spotlights like throw and defensive options to get out of things. That's what I'm hoping for, because so far, during this trailer, they really only showed block pressure and getting hit. They didn't show how people, if you can backdash out of pressure, they didn't show anyone get thrown, or if combos throw. I mean, or if throws combo. They didn't show any defensive mechanics, right? They didn't show any vulnerable DPs or push block or a reflect type thing or a tag cancel where you tag in to get out of pressure, right? They didn't show any of that.
Be creative and express yourself in gameplay.
Bro, this man's pressure, dude. He looks plus. He looks really plus on it. I mean, on block.
And 200 IQ plays behind some of the most iconic moments in fighting game history. The dream for us is to deliver a game that allows you to create new iconic moments for many years to come. Now let's talk about controls. I know that a lot of you have strong opinions about mechanical.
I absolutely love that. I love that that's an anti-air attack.
For Project L, we're embracing the easy to learn, hard to master mentality.
Wait, what'd you say? I agree about combos being easy, but oh yeah, I already read that.
And learn their basic kit. That said, we absolutely believe in rewarding the time you spend going deep on a character and providing opportunities for you to showcase your high-end mastery.
Bro, this man does a stun of some kind right here.
Your high-end.
Into a run cancel, into a launch, into an like a super jump combo. Look at this shit.
Of fighting games.
Wall bounce, anti-air grab,
move and fight in a way that's inspiring.
Assist, jump in again, 2 jump ins, 1 combo.
Lesser skilled players.
Full combo into an ult.
Aspirational summit.
Nice ult, nice ult.
Steadily increasing difficulty curve.
Bro, I got ganked by that fucking Jinx assist.
The pros. It's about unlocking the fun at all skill levels. Characters.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm pretty excited. I'm hoping that they'll make sure to cover a lot of different archetypes of characters. Right? I do believe that fighting game archetypes are still pretty relevant. I don't think that we're in an age where there's a lot of games that are kind of trying to remove fighting game archetypes. Right? There's a lot of characters that do a lot of things and they're very balanced and they can go from rush down to zoning real quick or vice versa. Right? So I think most modern fighters are kind of doing away with archetypes, but I think in a team-based game, and especially a game like a League of Legends based, this is the world of Runeterra, it'd be really nice to see them continue to push for archetypes, right? Because when you think of League of Legends or MOBAs in general, there are archetypes, right? There's there's top laners, bottom laners, mid laners. So there's like support. There's junglers, there's ADC, tanks, right? There's like 4 or 5 different. I don't know too much about MOBAs. Please don't attack me. I'm not a MOBA guy. I played a little bit of like Arena of Valor on my phone, and I played League when the game was super new. I was a Garen one trick, top lane Garen, let's go. That was it, right? I don't know too much about League characters, which is a perfect segue into what I want to do next. But before I do that, hey, if you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to subscribe. We'll be covering fighting game stuff a lot. We'll be making sure to keep up to date with all Project L news and doing tons of course, fighting game content as always, mostly Soul Calibur. And watch the YouTube channel, subscribe. They should balance Project L based on the Legends of Runeterra card game. I don't know how that works, but I'm scared. And with that, Beanie Thuggish signing out.